Welcome everyone to the Warden Share. New series of monthly events are going to occur. You guessed it, every single month, likely at the end of the month. We're still not sure, this is the first event, but we're going to have tons of fun, ton of giveaways, and for these we will do giveaways in the chat live as of this recording, but you also want to follow us, and you also want to be part of the Discord server that we have, which is open to public, and while you're there you're gaining shards, which is the Discord currency, and with them you can participate in special giveaways that are going to have some very cool reward, much cooler than the Evo codes we're giving today. So this is where we're going. Hey.
I'm giving a very nice prize away, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like the giveaways from the Discord pool of giveaways is going to be nicer than the one we give to the Twitch viewers. So make sure you're in both. That's the most efficient way to do it. You participate in the Discord and then you check out live. Today I'll be coasting with the great, the mighty Wafflephagus. You can see on screen right now. The most beautiful ex-shop owner in town.
Beautiful.
But you may want to introduce yourself though, because I don't think everyone knows you.
Yes, I'm Wafflephagus. I do own battleshopper.com. And it's a good old time. We're gonna watch, you guys will watch as I ask 1,000 questions, because I have played PvE all of maybe 30 minutes.
That's what we're all about. And also today we're going to do a speedrunning event for this month. So we've got 3 runners this time around. We're going to do the same thing as we did with the charity stream, which is taking a brand new character, an elf ranger, from the character creation stream up to reaching the Adventure Zone 2. And when they reach Adventure Zone 2, this is where the timer ends. We're not necessarily going to time this. This is a free showcasing event, so it's not competitive, but it is for very important pride and bragging rights. They will not be allowed to modify the decks that they have in any way. They're going to be able to use talents though as they level up. And the goal is to get to Adventure Zone 2 the fastest way possible. They're all playing Elf Ranger, because if they would be playing a wide range of character classes and race, you would see that we would be able to tell who's going to win before we start the race, because the Elf Ranger is clearly superior to all others. So for this event we're going to start Elf Ranger. If you're new to the game, this is a run that you can do. We're not modifying the deck, so you just you just register for the game, you just use the card that you have, and if you get good at it, you're going to be able to complete this in less than an hour. You're going to get about 12 Adventure Zone 1 packs, which contains equipment and cards, and you're also going to get a decent amount of gold. This is not the most efficient way to farm items and gold in the game, but if you're on a brand new account, this is a very good way to get you started, at least for the first couple of hours of play. So this is why we're showcasing it. Next few months might have a speed race, might have other things. We're waiting on the new game mode, PvE related, that's hopefully going to get released before the February event. So if we have that in the game, we're likely going to cover it on February.
Fred is asking how the Elf Ranger is superior to the others, and I would also like to know that as well.
The reason is that the Ranger class as a pet has a champion power activation that costs 2 charges. And what's particular with the Ranger is that it is evasive. It has flight. So what's going to happen is most games you're just going on turn 2, you're going to get your pet, and then you're going to proceed to make it bigger and then swing and win. The reason it's Elf Ranger, because there's also other classes, other Ranger classes that have evasive pets, like the Venants have an unblockable pet, but the decks that they start with are not as good as improving their pet. Because the Elf Ranger is running Ruby and Wild, and they both on both charts they contain ways to make it bigger, like giving it Rage or giving it +2/+2, Crush, things like that. So it's just the best deck to boost an evasive pet. And even when we tested like Venom Ranger against the Elf Ranger was clearly the best. But this is where this is combination of having the best deck to build your own beast, I would say, and also the fact that it has an evasive, like a guaranteed evasive troop on turn 2 every single fight. And I do not know everything about PvE. I know I do a lot, but there's a lot of our great community members that are very much knowledgeable about PvE than me. I just make things public. When I see something nice, I just make sure that everyone knows about it. That's what I do. Alright, so this is what we're going to do today. We already did one giveaway in the chat. We've got 4 more to do. We're going to do 1 or 2 during the speed race, but we're now ready to start. And before we start though, I need to introduce the runners. So let me just get that on the screen real quick. Alright, so on the... I need to... okay. So flashing screen on the bottom left, I'm going... Yeah, I need to put name tags, do we? Do I? Yeah. I need to put name tags. Okay, so... Name tag, this was... Soutalgon.
You can just put Soutalgon.
Easier. It's Saul or Sue?
It's Soutalgon, but just Sout's easiest. Just Sout. Like out, Sout. There you go.
Okay, so... Name tag here. And we are... Remember, we are professionals. Everything was set up beforehand, and we tried it, and it was working fine.
Yeah, that's the story, and we're sticking to it.
Yep, 100% sticking to that story.
Oh no, that's not my name properly spelled.
Oh, what are you? Soutalgon or Soutalgon?
It's Soutalgon. You have the L in the wrong spot. You're really close though. You're only like 3 spots off. You know?
Something like that.
It's Soutalgon.
Well, we'll go with that.
Yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
All right, and I don't. Who chosen a male elf ranger? That's Axel, right?
Me. Yes, me.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can. So let me just put a name tag there. Name tag. Axel. Should be here. And then our last but not least runner for this event, the ever-present and streaming 24-hour day non-stop streaming from the great, the mighty Manifesto.
I have to stream 24 hours a day now?
Yes, you are. And if you didn't before, now you need to commit to it.
Yeah, no,
Right.
like your family, your job, all of that is not nearly as important as streaming Hex Shards.
No, it is important, but if you do it like 24 hours a day, you'll become the most popular streamer of all time, and you're going to make millions. Everything will sort itself out.
We need Hex to blow up on the market first, I think.
Oh, but everything will be fixed because of Manifesto streaming. That's the best part.
I'll see what I can do about it.
We have name tags now. We just hope that Discord is not going to switch people around as we do this. Alright. Are you guys ready? Because I am.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, we're using, Tim Lager is using the base deck only for the Elf Ranger. And yeah, they can use skill point, but they cannot modify the decks. Are the name tags correct? We're going to find it out very quickly. Well, we know that Axel is no, they're correct. They're correct. And are you guys ready? So Matt,
Yep.
everyone.
Ooh, all right. Where's the stopwatch? Do we have a stopwatch that we can put on screen for how long it's taking?
I don't think there's
before.
a default stopwatch in OBS though.
It's
Oh,
playing
I was
already.
like,
Let me see. Let me try something. It's going to be stupid if it works, but oh no, I'm not going to do that. I wanted to share Windows clock, but
The run is fixed, guys.
yeah,
no. Why don't we just do a browser thing, or
Yeah.
fuck, whatever.
Wafflegus is already in the first dungeon. It's fixed, guys.
Yeah, because I'm totally, actually doing the speed run.
Okay, let me try something.
He's gonna be our secret fourth person. They're gonna turn it on. He's like, look how far he's actually gotten, guys.
Like I said, the guy that has the least experience with PvE is gonna beat you all.
Time it would be a stopwatch. Okay, there's one. Let me try to figure this out. Windows capture. Stopwatch. Okay, we can do this, guys. We can do this.
World's tiniest stopwatch.
We can do this. Now we just need borders and we're good. Do this. Filters. Remember we're professional. Don't try this at home.
Believe it or
would
not,
be-
we started almost an hour before 8 o'clock setting this up.
This would be
Yeah.
highly dangerous if you started this and at home and then you try this without proper safety measures first. Always important
I'm
to
wearing
be
a cup.
safe.
Wait, did you just say I'm wearing a cup?
Yeah. Guy, protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, aren't you always wearing a cup?
Yeah, it's very important. Like speed racing, speed gaming injuries are very common.
Yeah.
Oh. 800, no. Goes 500.
We have to run later. That's what I remember. Like, you have to beat the run, and then you gotta, like, get up. and
Right,
run.
yeah. I mean, like, see, it depends.
I mean, I'm not wearing Depends. That's a little too far for me, man.
Well, you're the runner, so that makes sense. But you see, as a host, I am not actually exposed to any, or as many, mind you, of the risks of doing a speedrun.
Right.
And so that is why I was kind of surprised, because I'm not super familiar with the dangers that go into this.
I like watching Coach play the accordion with his windows.
Hey, that works.
Yeah.
We've got a timer now. Start.
just put
Make it, I was about to say, make it a bit smaller and put it above you. It's so it doesn't overwrite the join us in Discord call to action.
That's not important part.
Oh.
I thought that was like the whole reason we were doing this.
Yeah, that man has a point.
I mean, we have an empty spot on the top left where it says Heroes of Entrath.
Where there's my face? Is that what you were saying?
Perfect.
That's good too, though. Yeah.
All right, guys. Are we good? Let's do this now. Usually Discord doesn't have any lag at all for audio, so we should be able to have everyone start pretty much at the same time. Just going to be doing the standard 3, 2, 1 and go. And you all click on the text box at go and then you start doing your thing. Alright?
Alright.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh god.
And we're started!
Oh my god, what's going on? I haven't done this.
Okay, so now first part of this will be, I need to zoom in on my notes. God, wait.
For the record, my
Did
computer.
I'm
we
getting
just lose
wrecked already.
someone? Call dropped. Oh no, Matt, we lost you. Matt, where are you?
No, I just said that.
Skype is telling me call dropped.
Yeah, that my computer crashed. That's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second. I'm rebooting it now.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Whereas everything is working fine. Okay.
I'm winning by default, right?
You're winning by default. So, first fight is going to be the Nerissa. So, when you start a campaign and you start a dialogue, you end up with someone telling you what's going on. And for the most part, she wants to test your skills as a whatever class you are to know if you're worthy of getting a quest. So this is the first fight. It's Nerissa. Her power is that she for 4 charges she reveals the top card of her deck, and then she plays all the troops revealed for free, and usually has a big burst of troops on the board on turn 4, but then after that she just draws a card, sometimes split a troop, and they're mostly all smalls. So this fight is really just going to be a whoa. Yes. Where is Skype? Skype, stop messing with me.
There we go.
All right. That back. Yeah. We're live. Everything is working fine. So we're at the Nerissa fight right now, and usually she doesn't have anything that blocks flight troops, so it's going to be fairly easy to go and pass through. We see that Axel and well, pretty much everyone finished the fight at the same time, like in the same 2 seconds. That's pretty cool.
Now, so here's the question though: is who has the best clicking through dialogue game? So I think that might be the clincher in this competition.
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously we're not doing this as a high level, but usually in speedrun people try to find ways to crash the game or bug the game in a way that you skip dialogue, or sometimes just running it in a different language is going to have shorter sentences, and sometimes it means less interaction overall. But right now I believe everyone is running the game is in English, right?
I mean, I feel like that's, if you're gonna, especially in a tournament setting like this, I feel like everyone needs to establish beforehand the ways of the game, as far as what you can and cannot do to kind of hack around those things. So I think in this case we do have it to where everyone's doing English, everyone's not doing it, so it's literally just as fast as you can click through. Yeah.
Well, there's decision, right? If you know the deck really well, the starter deck, you know, identifying the right hands to keep and everything is going to play a very big role, because there's some hands that looks good overall when you're just playing the game, but they're not going to be very good when you're doing a speed run, and knowing these things is going to greatly change the pace of the game. We can also see in Axel's screen right now, it deactivated the background images, so when you want to go as fast as possible, one of the things that you want to do is make sure that the game has a lower resolution and as low of things to process graphically as well.
Well, there's also, you do in a very competitive situation, not to say that this isn't very competitive, it is the most competitive event that any of these gentlemen are ever going to partake on in their lives. You do want to get the upper edge, but at the same time, this is, at the end of the day, a spectator sport. So I would say that you don't want to, while you could get an edge up by running this at 800 by 640, that's not necessarily the fair thing to do for the spectator's perspective.
No,
and it
that's
does
true.
look like we have someone that just broke out into the lead.
Yeah, Manifesto, they're leading by a couple seconds right now. Have they implemented an in-game way to do that? To do what? You can turn off the background in-game.
At this point, I think it might be a bit too late though, because you have to spend those precious seconds to actually go.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Well, it depends. It depends on each runners, right? Because if you have a very good computer, I don't think it matters that having the background or not. But depending on the computer that you have, it might matter. But there's also another thing, like when you're doing these things, you know how you can set up the stops and phases when you're doing a game with the little cog icon in the left, center left with the wheel. So if you go there, you usually, when you do the speed run, you want to deactivate all the phases that you don't need. And in this case, it's pretty much everything but your main phase you're going to deactivate. You may want later down the road, there's going to be a few fights where you will likely need to block to be able to win. This is where you're going to enable the block phase, but for the most part, just having one stop is going to help, because every time there's a stop, then there's a pop-up, and even if you do F10, it's going to take time to just process them. So when you have most of the phase
you could very easily avoid some of this and still regain control, because at the same time, you don't want to create massive misplays. So you can go ahead and do the F10, and you can go ahead and just click the go to end phase and auto pass just using the hotkeys as well. And personally, I think that's how I would end up playing it.
Well, it's just for the sake of being efficient, right? Because right now we're doing a run, but the reason I'm mentioning these things is that if someone sees that and they're on a very newly created account or a very small collection, then they may want to try this, right? And if you're going to do that for a couple times during a night, gaining say 5 or 10 minutes per run can end up, meaning that you do one more run during your night, and that can mean the difference in terms of loot and gold that you get for the time you invest. If you're just doing one run and you're not going to do multiple, then all these things don't matter that much, right? Because even if it takes 20 more minutes, if you're just doing one run, you're just doing one run. And you're going to do other things, and being fine-tuned up to the last second, it doesn't matter. The same way that when we're doing when you're farming in PvE, say you want, I'm going to get the best deck and I'm going to farm the dungeon, the place where there's the best gold per hour. Like, sometimes people get very picky with what they believe is the best deck, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. You take the top 5 decks, and even if you would be able to etch in like a few seconds, maybe a minute every run, you will very rarely do like 2 or 3 hours of farming. And usually when people do that, they're watching TV or they're doing something else because it's boring, right? So in the end, you just often what happens is that if you don't pick the deck that you like, you're going to farm less because you're going to get tired of it a lot faster. And even if the deck that you like takes maybe a minute more per run, you're going to farm more gold. It's going to be more efficient for you if you pick the deck that you like instead of the best or the quickest deck, fastest deck.
Now, checking in, it still looks like Mr. Manifesto is up on his lead still, retained that lead through the last fight. His opponent is already down to, 8 life, while everyone else is still in 18. Good night. He's got a 10 life lead.
Yeah.
Now in these kind of speed runs, how often do you see something along the lines of, and there we see Manifesto has actually already beaten his next opponent. So I believe the next one up, that has him out of that dungeon, does it not?
Yeah, that was the Glendower is the last one for the dungeon. Then you're going to end up in the Adventure Zone map. After a few dialogues, and then you start going through the map, like the usual map. So usually when you refer to dungeons in the Adventure Zone, even if it's the introduction, what they're doing, the first you fight, it's basically the first dungeon that you do. So it's usually referred to as the first dungeon, and the quote-unquote first real dungeon that you encounter in a campaign. Usually it's referred as the second one. So I know a lot of people that just refers to this part as just the intro, but it's actually a dungeon.
And as to Kamikaze Maniac, I believe I just took care of that. Thank you for pointing out the fact that I was having a bit of an echo, namely due to the fact that we have a little weird setup where our video is going through Skype, but the audio is going through Discord, and I forgot to mute myself in Skype, so that should take care of it.
All right. Thank you for the feedback, Kimmy. Appreciate it. So right now we've got our runners going to enter the first part of the run. For the speed run, for this one particularly, there's only one quest that you really want to get, and it's the quest that is going to give you access to Adventure Zonto, since that's the end goal, right? But for the most part, they're going to skip, like when you start the campaign, you're going to have access to the first quest that tell you capture, this kind of beast, and you're going to have a couple of them. For the most part, they're just going to ignore all quests, and they're just going to go and take them. Now, funny thing is that when you enter the towns the first time, you need to take all the quests if you want to leave, if I remember correctly. So you're most likely going to see everyone getting all the quests anyway, but they just need a dungeon related quest, and then they should be good. Except the usual progression quests, like the gnome that unlocks the different bridge and all sorts of weird things. There's a few optional nodes as well. We're going to see if Axel decides to do it freestyle this time again.
So, do we think anyone's gonna try and do the? I believe it's called the river. The piranhas.
Piranhas is 100%
speedrun and
unfeasible with the starter
friendly,
deck.
right? Totally do that with the starter deck. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you do that all the time, do you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can only do it if you're like an elite, right? You need to be real good though. So 12 minutes in, we already have a Manifesto on the Cockatwice fight, Feralroot, Bear for the other two runners, and the fights are closing in for the Bears. And
so
right
that
now
opens up a really interesting topic of conversation. Is that Axel? This actually isn't Axel's first time at it. We see that he's also the only one that has actually gone in and disabled the prettier backgrounds in order to potentially gain out some milliseconds in load time. And yet, he's not winning right now.
Oh, give it some time. It's an hour run, and there's going to be a lot of fights. And there's a few fights that, when you know about them, you're likely going to be mulliganing a lot more aggressively and even restarting the fight. Because there's a few fights that are going to be very hard, since they're using the starter deck, right? So right now they're into fights that are meant to be fought with the starter deck. But when you pass the first dungeon, you're going to start encountering, there's particularly two encounters that are pretty hard, and they likely will require a few tries. On the first one, we even had someone like having to try one fight 9 times before winning.
So that was actually going to be a really interesting question, which was how much of this. So very often you see speedruns of games that are entirely skill. Your Marios, your Donkey Kongs, what have you.
Yeah.
But how often do you actually see speedruns of games that do introduce a large amount of variance into it? So how much of it, because that's all trading card games by nature have variance built into it by design.
Well,
so
it really depends, right? But for the most part, there's speedrunning. It's not necessarily something you do with competitions like head-to-head races. It's mostly time attacks for the run. But there are definitely a lot of games that are very popular in the speedrunning community where there's a decent amount of random into it, in terms of sometimes it's just sequence of attacks, sequence of enemies, random spawn that if they happen, they make the game, like they save, say, a minute or two, and if they don't have it, then it's not the optimal route. And even if they have the perfect run, it might end up being like 2 minutes too long, compared to the official record or something. So to the record holder. So there's definitely a lot of games with random. Well, there's usually random in games because that's often what makes them fun. But for the most part, TCGs, you don't see them run as speedruns because there's just
I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that how many TCGs have something that you could speedrun that isn't just playing against another player.
Well,
like
yeah, for sure. But in the end, it's just, you can speedrun anything you want. It's just a matter of having a community for it and having a lot of people trying to crunch the game and see if there's weird ways to make it interesting. Because often when you watch something like AGDQ, for instance, often they're a very bad game, very old game that are not entertaining to watch at all normally. But seeing the guys break the game and, you know, all the shortcuts that they take and the weird techniques that they use, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, and Fred is pointing out the fact that there are a whole lot of speedruns of randomized classic games. Like, they just throw games at your face.
Yeah, I don't remember how they call, but yeah, there's a pool of games and they need to go through X amount of games and they're decided randomly. So you need to be good at a lot of games. But you don't need, like, when we start speaking about head-to-head races, the fun is watching people race, right? So you see one being ahead, and at some point you see that, oh, someone else is getting back on the lead, and that's what makes things fun. And right now what we see is that we've got Soutalgon and Manifesto on the same fight right now, which would be the Savage Lord. This is one that starts to be a bit etchy when he gets a nice string of dinosaur from the top of his deck. Manifesto is still in the lead though.
Well, and we do have Manifesto just beating out the Savage Lord, and which is furthering his lead, especially behind Axel, who is still sadly on the cockatrice.
Yeah, Axel just finished the cockatrice, going to go into the Savage Lord in a second there. And now we'll see Manifesto
Still haven't
losing
drawn an
to
inside
Western.
fury.
What?
I still haven't drawn an inside fury.
Oh man, that's bad. That's the 3-cost action that's going to give Rage 2 to the pet.
Now, can we talk a little bit about this deck that it starts with? Is there things that we totally did before the stream started, like professionals?
Yeah.
Do we have a list of the starting elf deck that we could maybe go in and look at and point out some of these key cards?
If I go and look at it right now, we're going to lose the screen sharing, but if you have the game open and you go into let's say you open any campaign characters that are past the first dungeon, you can go and look into the save decks, and you're going to have a save deck for each race that you have. So if you have an elf right now that is past the first dungeon, you should be able to just load up the deck and see what's inside. But for the most part, it's a couple. It's the usual Ruby Wild. It's not a Ram deck, but you know, a couple of troops that are going to accelerate your resources, and you're going to have you know, a few troops with Crush, a few troops with Swift Strike, and a couple actions that are going to make them bigger. That's pretty much what the deck is. So the action that Axel was speaking about is the one that costs 3. I believe there's 2 in the deck. And it gives Rage 2. So if you put this if you do that on turn 3 on your flying pet, then you're going to close out the game extremely quickly. Yeah, I don't think you can delete the starter deck templates. But they are always there. One thing interesting to note here is that Manifesto went for the first talent point with the, I believe it's the Sharpshooter talent that has a 50% chance to deal 1 damage to a troop.
Now, are the starting decks done by race or done by...
They're done by race. Like, the class combination with the race doesn't change the deck. So if you start an elf, it doesn't matter which class, you always end up with the same starter deck. Same is true for all other races.
All right. I pulled one up, but I don't know if it has been modified, so I don't want to.
If you go and load deck template, you should see the. It should have a dedicated name, but it should be there. like elf, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright.
We currently have
Let's
all
get a
runners on
snap.
the same fight right now. I believe Manifesto has a small lead, but 3 health there. And 3 health there. Was that 3? Yeah. We still have Manifesto about 10-15 seconds ahead, but that's not long. That's not a very long lead when you're looking at a a run that lasts for an hour. The really important, well, not important, but very interesting that we'll look at is when they enter the second dungeon of the run, which would be the Tranquil Dream, because there's a 5 node that you can do in any order, and the order of these nodes do matter. Oh, and you share the screen cap, that's perfect. Thank you. So the starter deck here has how many of the... Wait. Open image. So...
Looks like it has 3 Insight Furies
it's
as well as 2 or 3 of the Ruby Auras.
Yeah. And then there's 3 Wild Auras as well. So usually what you do is on turn 3, on turn 2 you're going to put out your pet. If you have Ruby Aura, you just play it on the pet. And on turn 3, ideally you play Insight Fury or Wild Aura, depending on what you play on turn 2. Because sometimes you just play a light Lyricist on turn 2 with your pet. So that on turn 3...
It looks like we have a new leader.
Yeah, we've got... Wait, Manifesto is... Are you in the dungeon right now? No, that's not a dungeon.
Oh, was I mistaken? Oh, no, never mind. My mistake. It's still Manifesto in the lead. I thought that Soutalgon was just catching up with Manifesto in the fight. I thought he was a fight ahead. That was my mistake.
Yeah, well, it's going to get confusing a bit, because I was saying on the second dungeon, there's not a straight path, so depending on the kind of decks, because every time you fight one of the nodes, the next fight becomes harder, and there's 1 fight per shard, so you know, if you don't want to face the deck with the most removal as the hardest deck, then you go for it first, so on and so forth. So I don't remember what was the when we discussed about it for the charity stream event. I think people started with the Skarn first, like Ruby, the Diamond first, and then...
Looking at the thing that you sent me a little while ago, I would actually start with the Dream Spider, because it says it has Taint and Kill is removal. Skarn doesn't really...
The one thing is that the Dream Turtle, it gains HP as it plays troops. So you want to fight it first, because the first one you fight has the lowest HP from the start. So this one you definitely don't want to keep for last, because if it starts with, say, 20 HP and then it heals for another 10 during the fight, it's a big difference between starting at 12 and then having, you know, gaining 10 more.
Right.
Because the other fights, they don't gain HP when they as you're fighting them. So this one you definitely want to start with. It also plays some removal in Inner Conflict, and if your pet is Inner Conflicted, the problem is that you don't have any way to kill it.
Oh, yeah, and since that is your biggest damage dealer, I see.
Yeah. Oh, we actually see Soutalgon in the lead right now. Just
Yeah,
started the
he's
dungeon.
starting his inner thing.
It shows the Dream Eagle first.
I mean, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Do you want my comments or no? I don't
No,
know
you
how
can
they-
comment all comments to your heart's content. No problem.
First, I like the blue one first because he's the most annoying to me. So I just hate him that much. I always do him first.
Okay.
He's just, I don't know, I hate like losing. I know like I'm not a speedrunner, right? But I'm just doing this to help, right? Like me, I just want to make sure I win. I don't want to have to like restart a fight. That's like my ideal. Shoot, I forgot that someone might be now. I'm not gonna talk again.
Well, I will say that Yeah, no, the winning, making sure you win is a good way to make sure you win. That sounded a lot
Yeah.
more circular.
It's a
I
weird
feel like
thing.
the loading is the biggest enemy for a speed run. Like having to reload the fight is, I feel, what's going to be the most annoying for me.
I would be really curious, and this is something that I thought about just in even just playing in PvP. How long the average Hex player waits while that coin is flipping up in the air and lands on that battle board. In say an average month, how long does the average, let's say top 64 on the ladder, see that coin flip? And so that brings up a really good point as far as your speedrun is concerned, that you have to go through all of the animations and the reloading of a battle, because it has to go through that thing again. And I imagine that's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. We've got it right now, 5. That's at least 8 seconds, because we were able to see one of our contestants do that right now, Axel. It had just started a fight right while I was doing that.
Yeah, and while we're doing that, I was zoomed in on Manifesto, and he dodged a bullet there because he was fighting the turtle, and it plays inner conflict, but it did not target the bee. It targeted the light lyricist, so
Oh no!
you were
I got super
extremely
lucky.
lucky there. Like, if it targets the bee, the fight just adds like 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, easy. And we've got Soutalgon just on the verge of killing the Dream Eagle. I would definitely do either Sapphire or Diamond first. Shadow Warrior was mentioning in the chat earlier that the first 2 you fight are the same health, charge power cost. Next 2 are 1 tier up basically, and the 5th one is the highest health and charge improvement. So yeah, I think the last one everyone basically wanted to do the spider first, the spider last. I don't remember why. I think that's the one with the enemies that are the lowest defense, so you can just, you know, go through them. So Manifesto choosing to do Dream Eagle on the second fight. Still have Soutalgon on the Dream Eagle, and we've got Axel just wrapping up the fight for the turtle. And we're going to see if turtle decides to be a jerk and use inner conflict on the bee. Is that the biggest troop on the board? No, so it shouldn't. The eye tends to
I hate
just
Eagle so much. I got screwed by it because it sends a troop back in your hand, so it's just like
it's a bit of a roadblock. Would he hit the 50%? No, that's a shame. Alright. Likely we'll be able to go and attack next turn, but that's a turn on defense here. It's not that great. And we've got Soutalgon just clearing up the Dream Eagle, going for which one? Oh,
Looks like he's going for the Skarn.
Scar next.
Yep. I'm not a speedrunner, so I might be doing it all wrong, but I have
That's
played
okay.
this dungeon a lot, so I do have like a sense of like, hey, what's fastest for me has been this. So, but I also got to use better decks, so I don't know.
One thing to note is that when you speak with the before each fight, there's a dialogue, and depending on the options that you select, you're going to have a different boss fight. And the one that you really want to have is the the Ruby Wild one. It sports nearly no removal, and it has very low flight blockers or flight
Yeah, I totally
troops.
forgot about that till you just said that. I haven't been not doing that.
I like the first option, but yeah.
First
I didn't
option
know
leads you
about
to one of the worst boss to fight in the speedrun, which would be Blood Diamond, if I'm not mistaken. It has a decent amount of removal and flight troops.
I'm gonna smash its face though. That's my strategy.
We have Manifesto now on the the wild node with a bear. And we've got a Skarn here with 9 health and a very big bee attacking. Is that lethal? Oh, 1.
No. Sadly.
This one. And then
Next turn is lethal though.
there is well, the fight just started, but Inside Fury on turn 3 is going to wrap up this fight extremely quickly. Alright, so usually when you exit this dungeon, you're going to be level 4. Level 3 or level 4? When you started, guys, you were level 2, right? So you're going to end up getting out level 3 with the bonus XP from the quest. And once they hit level 3, they're going to have access to 2 talent points. So they may want to reset their talent point to get what everyone was likely going to do the same thing. They're going to be getting the pet ferocity, which changed the class power, because the class power for the ranger costs 2, and the first time you use it, it's going to put the pet into play, and every subsequent time, if you already have your pet, it's going to improve it by +1/+1. But there's a talent that is available on the first row that requires 2 points. It's going to change the talent. Instead of giving it +1/+1, it's going to give it +2/+2. So, and since your pet is your main damage, and you usually go beyond turn 4, you really want that +2/+2 as your talent on level 4. So you're likely going to see all runners going to switch to pet ferocity for the level 4.
Oh, I screwed up. Sorry. Just, oh my god, I'm screwing up now. Getting nervous.
Oh, Manifesto had to reset the fight for the bear. That hurts. And we've got... oh, Axel just wrapped up the fight with the turtle. Going for... Skarn, I believe. Yeah. And here we have a Blood Spider with 16 health. And an Angry Bee with Rage on the board. So this fight should be wrapping up rather quickly. Barring
well,
any
we say
removal.
that, but if you do remember that Spider does have hard removal. So
Yeah.
we will see.
On turn 3, the kill is very, very bad. But, oh, did you just get a taint in your hand?
It was spoiled, but it's basically
It was
the same thing, yeah.
Yeah. So you got a card. It's nice.
That helped me, yeah.
For this fight,
I like
when the AI uses its champion power, it creates a card of the same shard in your hand and gives you a threshold to play it. And sometimes you're just going to be very lucky and they're going to give you removal. Like Soutalgon just had right there. And Soutalgon is going to go on the 4th fight right now with the bear. Rocking the Dream Dungeon here.
I used to play this one a lot to get the event stuff.
Hold
you know,
on,
like
hold on.
Christmas.
I have to interrupt and just point out the level of pun that we just got from Coach there.
Go
The
ahead.
level of pun was unintentional.
He said he's having a dream of a dungeon here.
Oh yeah.
Unintentional puns are the best, right?
So, alright, so what we see here, Skarn is at 7 health, no blocker, with a bee, raging bee. Is this lethal? Yeah, exactly lethal for the attack for Axel. Going to start his 3rd fight on the dungeon. And we've got Soutalgon here on the 4th fight. Fighting the bear, and we've got Manifesto going on his 3rd fight right now. Starting
4th.
4th?
I've already done the Sapphire one too.
Oh, okay, yeah, oh yeah, you did stuff. Oh yeah, right. So 4th fight here, about to wrap up, and Axel, you're on your 3rd fight, right?
Yes.
So it's still pretty close. With a small lead to Soutalgon here. Swinging for the win. Oh no, it was 1 short. That's sad.
Yeah. That just means I should have swung 1 turn earlier with the other ones, but Because I
that's
don't know
true.
the alt deck, so I don't know like how deadly the enemies can be to me.
On to the last fight before boss for Soutalgon. We see the Skarn fight here. Burn targeting the light lyricist, that's perfect. For Manifesto. That means it's going to incite the fury of the bee. And that bee is going to be mad as hell.
I'm actually not, in case he's holding another burn. I'd rather him burn the lyricist next turn.
Oh. So you're trying to metagame the AI. Alright. That seems to work. Oh. Getting the Wild Aura though was kind of nice. +1/+1 and swing. That's going well. We see the blood spider here. Oh, that's a decent amount of damage right there. Should be close to lethal. Next attack for Axel.
Ooh, reversion. Nice.
And,
It's like the best card again.
and we see Soutalgon here on the turtle fight. The turtle that he has a 24 right now. And every time it plays a diamond card, it will gain some health equal to, I believe, the card's cost. No, it's just the same amount of health for every card they play, every diamond card. But having a flight life drains steadfast card here is kind of a pain for the runners.
Oh, it didn't work.
Oh!
I'm dead.
Try to get it now, you're good. Still have a small lead. But Manifesto is coming for you right now. Starting the Blood Spider, the 5th fight for his dungeon. Axel right now on the Dream, just started the Dream Eagle. And does have a White Aura in the hand with a yeah, with a 2-drop. And then that's not too bad. Should be going well. Here on the left side we've got a turtle fight. Ooh, spell shield blocker. Thankfully it doesn't fly, but why did you lose your bee a second time?
Yeah.
Ah, that hurts.
I did it to trade. I wanted to get rid of the flyer with life drain because I don't want it to constantly gain life on me.
Yeah, that's usually a good way to lose a fight. But yeah, the Dream Turtle is just very annoying with flight troops and inner conflict and all sorts of nasty stuff. So you see Manifesto beating down.
Fucked up not playing that Mygo.
that
That's what you
was
see Manifesto doing.
that was a nice one to get though. It doesn't have, yeah, speed flight troop with 3 attack. That one is nice. That was a good one.
I could have sworn ranger abilities are supposed to go away after a while. I don't know. Mine kept coming
the
back.
convos map in Dream Dungeons. Do you know which option triggers which bosses? I know all top options triggers the Blood Diamond boss. I believe you need the Midal option everywhere for the Wild Ruby one. Or mix. I don't know if we have that map somewhere. Surely someone has. I wouldn't be surprised that we have that in the X Compendium website. For those who don't know, this is a wiki that we have that is maintained by Largersberg, Joe in the chat here, and also Replay, X Replay. You can find it here. And I wouldn't be surprised that the sequence is there, but I don't recall. I just usually when I'm leveling new characters, I'm going to use a mercenary, likely Acor, and I'm just going to select the first option because it doesn't really matter that much. So we've got here, we still have Soutalgon on the last fight with some weird display bugs, but
Yeah. That's a
what
hex
did you
problem though.
play there to have that many phantoms?
That's macabre. It takes all the troops in my crypt. I didn't know if I was gonna need it. I'm just playing on autopilot, man.
Nice. And you're going to get a boss fight, which would be the Blood Diamond Sister Midnight. Alright.
Am I the first on boss?
Yes, you are.
Nice.
Got
I need all the advantage I can get because I know it's gonna slow down right after this.
Axel is going to get to his fifth fight against the bear in the wild shard, and we've got Manifesto. I believe had to reset the fight for the blood spider.
Yup.
What
And-
kind of shards did your boss get?
Me?
Yeah.
Blood diamond.
Blood diamond, yeah. There's a high likelihood that this boss is going to neutralize the bee frequently.
I don't mind it though. Like
Yeah, the deck is still good. Like you still have combat tricks for days, and you just need to get one. Usually you're fine.
oh
So
shoot, I messed up. I didn't have a red.
That
I'm
hurts.
so
I saw you swing.
autopilot.
I just assumed that you had, but yeah.
I think that might have cost me the game though. That you know what? That's a good idea. I'm just gonna restart. That's not worse. I'm not getting bonus gold
Yeah.
from this anyways.
No, you're right. When you see fights going like that, you often just restore.
I
it
just
as fast.
like I autopilot. I'm so used to like not having a shard problem. It's like, oh, I
Isn't
can
it
play the first strike.
Darmak or Damark, something like that. MAA
Don't worry,
something.
friend. I also have the shitty, or crappy, sorry, Blood Diamond. It's also really hard to speedrun and change your record player.
Yeah. Well, you're adding yourself a good difficulty right there. All
I'm just
right.
so-
And I believe I saw Axel selecting all first options as well.
There we
So-
go. This is a much better start though.
Likely everyone on Sister Midnight Blood Diamond version.
No, I don't want to. Oh no, Paladin.
Ah, you got a good hand though. Very good hand.
Mm-hmm.
Should be fine. Actually, still plays decent amount of removal though, but if you can dodge removal like for the next 2 turns, you should be okay. Not a removal, but a flight troop, and that's usually a problem. Like, but if you have access to Wild Aura, then it doesn't really matter. You can power through. Alright, so we've got everyone on the last boss right now. And Manifesto is on 24 health. We've got Soutalgon on 20. We've got 24 for Axel just starting. He does have the Inside Fury in the starting end. No wide threshold though, but that should be more than enough. Like if the AI doesn't play a flight troop or a removal, they should be good. In the meantime, we've got Soutalgon rocking a 10-6 spider. Is it 14 or 10? 11. Screen is blurry.
12.
12.
Six.
One swing away from victory.
I would disagree with one swing away because the computer has 3. Oh.
Yeah, it has crush.
Oh, it had crush. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not quite catch that.
It had crush, so we've got our first speed runner out of the dungeon right now. The first dungeon.
Yeah, but I don't know what to do after this.
Ah, you have to figure it out.
I know, I'm running.
Yeah, we've got Matt here suggested that Parana would be the most efficient way to reach Adventure Zone 2. So maybe that's an option.
What?
Yeah, everyone got Blood Diamond. Now we've got. We're looking
what?
at Sister Midnight Fight. We have a restart from Manifesto. Study, and we've got. Oh, Axel is doing great. One swing away from the win here with a 6 health. Sister Midnight swinging with a Mighty B that has more than 10 attack.
Mighty B.
Mighty
Say that
B.
times fast.
No, I won't. This is another way to injure yourself in the speed
Bye
run, by the
bye.
way. Alright, so we see that the second place has shifted. Well, even the first place has shifted through the dungeon. We now have Soutalgon on the first. We've got Axel on second, and we've got Manifesto stacked with a very mean boss right now. That is not helping at all. Skirovic in the chat says, "Do not do the fish."
Which I honestly think is misleading. If you can quickly defeat the fish, you can avoid an entire quest line and just go straight through the straight across the bay there, if I'm not mistaken. And it might be the quickest way past.
It might be. So right now we're going to get into the infamous run breaker. The next encounter after the dungeon is Little Sky, but after that it's Pale Moon, and Pale Moon is extremely mean. And Matt, if you haven't read what it does, I suggest you read it, because you'll see how mean it can be. It always targets the bee. Very, very often targets the bee.
Pale Moon is target opposing troop without defensive gains defensive, and the ability
What
to.
the heck am I doing here? I did my usual stuff, coach. Look who am I battling.
Oh no, where did you click?
It appears he's.
Is it Little Sky? Wait, where? You're on the Mantis. That's not right. You need to go to the town after the you defeat the dungeon. Did you
I mean,
really?
Little
To the
Sky.
town. Do I have to get all the quests?
No. You need to go.
On my thing, it says Little Sky is the first encounter after the dungeon.
Yeah, you need to go. Wait, that's not. You clearly have the quest to go for the enemy armies of Mid fight. Not quite sure. Go there. No. Go to town again. No, you're doing the dungeon now. Not quite sure. I don't remember which one. I believe Little Sky was the next one though.
Well, Little Sky should be the next encounter.
Yeah,
after
we've
the first
got
dungeon.
Soutalgon on Little Sky.
Maybe I missed the quest.
Yeah, you might. That would be.
Oh, this guy?
Yep.
It's not relevant.
And then you should have the node unlocked that you need to go south. Yeah, here we go. The yellow node here is now highlighted.
Oh,
That's what you
God.
were missing. Don't worry though, Manifesto is still on the last boss of the Dream. Tranquil Dream
Yeah, I'm
Dungeon.
so messed right now.
Let's see this fight. Oh wow! Oh, that's a mighty paladin though. Is that a
Oh, no.
10-10 paladin?
This did
Yup.
take an extra turn.
You should know, guys. Beginner's luck runs out sometime.
I mean,
He just keeps using Soothing Breeze.
That's mean. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see Soutalgon reset the fight a few times on Pale Moon anyway, so...
no way, dude.
No,
No
way.
way.
Oh, you're enthusiastic. We're going to watch you now.
I'm not big on resetting fights. That's just not my thing. I'm not.
Alright.
I'm not a speedrunner, so I have a different methodology, you could say.
We're going to see.
Like,
You may want to try to get the Gal's favor here. Which one did you get?
I think I got hands. I honestly didn't even look. Like, I think it was hand size though, which is a good one.
So yeah,
I like resources, but
Pale Moon is really annoying. It's on 2 charges, like it's the same turn where you put on the B, and it puts defensive, and then you need to invest 2 resources and revert it. So if you make it big, and he targets it, not only it cannot attack, but if you want to attack again, you need to revert everything that you made that you put on the B. That's frigging annoying, and it does play a good amount of flyers, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Oh, but I got that double insight going on.
Oh, that's okay. Not too bad.
I could just put that on 2 different people, hopefully.
So while you set up your fight here, we've got a little sky fight that should be wrapped up fairly quickly here for Axel, and looking at Manifesto on yet another restart.
Yeah, we can finally see some differentiation between our contestants here.
Nice.
Everyone is now on a different fight. And it is our early leader is actually now stuck all the way back in the first dungeon.
Oh,
Or
we
not
can
the first
see
dungeon. But the
Pale
first
Moon
dungeon.
started with the B here with the Wayne power, rendering it useless. Yeah, that's what she tends to do. Like Pale Moon, well, it's a he, right? Yeah, it's not a she. Hey Max, thanks for the follow, sir. Oh, same. Appreciate it. All right, so going to try to brute force Pale Moon. I see. It's going well. That's certainly one way to do it.
I think now I might be out of luck. Because he's
Why?
got
You're
that
not-
Swift Striker.
Yeah, you're not in
That's
bad
Swift
shape
Striker.
though. You still have Inside Fury for the B, but you're going to be under pressure
Yep.
for sure.
I'm feeling it. Don't get me wrong, I feel the pressure.
Let's see.
But I
Vegan-
think I should be able to plow through right now. I think this is...
Yeah, you just need 1 attack. How many charges does he have right now?
How many vampires kisses this dude have?
all of them.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, a vampire being able to kiss, that's not something that you could limit. Like, if the guy is in fact a vampire, he could just kiss you continuously.
I mean, that sounds like you gotta ask for consent. I'm sorry.
All right, you got it on the first try. That's nice.
Well, I mean, are vampires known for asking consent? Honest question.
No.
Exactly.
They are, but from the vampires that are on higher hierarchy or bloodline.
Is this yeah, I'm already at Army of Myth. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
What was the? It's been ages since I played the Word of Darkness games. What wolf games? What's that? What's called when a vampire drains another vampire and
Yes.
gets all its
suck it,
powers?
mister.
It's the. I don't remember the term. That's something you should not do if you want to keep your characters alive, usually. But
This is not the
yeah,
best hand.
we've got Armies of Myth, and finally Manifesto was able to leave the dungeon. And we've got Axel and Pain Moon right now, going strong.
What the hell? He's already casting that? He normally doesn't cast it. Army of Myth, man.
He casts it for not enough resources to have a troop, I believe. He casts one every turn, regardless of what's happening.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a variable cost and it can be 0, so it just plays it. And
I'm
then
scared.
you might be very unlucky, but usually before the 5th turn,
Oh, good.
yeah,
It's
all
nothing
that.
scary.
Yeah, Jags is not too bad.
Oh shoot! I should have. Whatever.
Wait,
I should
Timagger,
have played,
what's going to annoy you right now? Your uniques are pretty okay. We've got Manifesto here, regearing tenants on level 4 to get a ferocity, pet ferocity tenant. I believe we saw
Oh my god.
Axel doing it. Very close to the fight. We win the fight, and while we... Oh, that's Prince... no, that's... what's the name of the prince? The other one?
Prince Zakas.
Yeah, Zakas. Shark with 9 attack. Should be able to win on the next swing, maybe. Maybe
Oh
not.
My god.
We see the Zakir here coming into the fight. Oh, the what? Yeah, it's kidding me, Tim. It's really kidding me. It's not menagerie now. That's. I'm going to find it before the end of the stream.
I'm surprised I'm doing as well as I'm doing. No joke, dude. It was supposed to be like a backup, you know?
That's okay. That's okay. So we've got Manifesto on Little Sky. We've got Axel tuning in tenants going for the Armies of Myth fight.
Where do you need to go now? Armies of Myth?
Yeah. Straight to Armies of Myth, and then once you complete Armies of Myth, you're going to enable the quest line to get to
Should I
the
go
third
to the
dungeon.
robot first or no?
Just go Armies of Myth. Don't care. You don't care about the other one.
I feel like I did something wrong.
Where's everybody else?
We've got Soutalgon here just completed Armies of Myth, and we've got Manifesto here on Little Sky, but his fight just completed, so he's going to go on the infamous Pale Moon, which right now doesn't seem to be a jerk for this run. I mean, we've got 2 players that were about to go through Pale Moon, no
Oh,
problem.
don't worry. I'll show you how strong he can be.
Alright, it seems that Soutalgon has finally found his way to the 3rd dungeon.
Yeah.
And the 3rd dungeon is the final dungeon of the run. And once you complete it, you should be able to reach Adventure Zone 2. However, there's a few mean encounters there that are very hard. Namely the last boss and the Finanif, the second to last. So we'll see how good it goes. I don't think I've seen very many speedrun, even in practice, that did not have at least 1 or 2 resets in the 3rd dungeon. So Matt, are you doing on the side? Does this give you the thrill of the speedrun? Do you want to try this after the stream?
Oh goodness, no. I am very happy that the PvE side of this game exists, and I'm actually quite interested in Siege, because Siege is not necessarily even player versus environment, because someone is on the other side of that deck building the decks.
Oh, what did happen now? My OBS decided to crash, so...
I heard people disconnect.
Oh, so it wasn't just me.
Correct.
Okay, we're back. We're back. I'm not quite sure that everyone is where they should be. Yeah,
hello?
everything seems to be good. Okay.
As I was saying, I'm actually incredibly curious as to how Siege plays out, because Siege is not player versus environment. Siege is...
Well, it is player versus environment. It is
no,
100%.
well, no, it's not, because someone is at the other side making that deck. It's my understanding that I can go in and make the defender decks.
Yeah.
Can I not?
Yep.
So you create your own Frustrating Arena. That's what it is. It's a smaller. You create a smaller version of Frustrating Arena.
No, and that's exactly it. I would say that's not fully player versus environment. That is a almost asynchronous PvP. is the silliest way that I've heard it called. And while I don't quite agree with that statement as a whole, because it's not being piloted behind it, I find myself, I'm going to be making a lot of defender decks. And once I get, a few that are actually good, I might even try and put a bit of platinum behind it. So
yeah, it's going to be very interesting for sure. And I get what you mean. Like it's a very interesting setup, and I don't think there's very many other games that even lets player design their own, say, PvE experience. Because we're going to enter in the sandbox type systems territory, right? And it's going to be very interesting because on one end you've got people creating decks for defense, and this is going to be, you're going to test against the AI for a bunch. You're going to make sure the AI has a deck that it can play well on defense, and you're going to build up a strategy on defense. But when you're attacking, you're playing versus the AI on a previously predefined encounter, and this is essentially PvE, right? Because it's an AI playing, and it's set up by a player, but it's no different than having the devs creating a new encounter and adding it to the campaign. But it has both.
I would disagree with that statement.
Very interesting. Oh, so you disagree with that?
Namely due to the fact that when the developers go in and they develop a PvE encounter, they have a lot of restrictions that they give themselves. They want the ability, some more than others, like obviously the first few dungeons are very, very streamlined. This is admittedly a slightly stricter design space than the developers would have at it, but at the same time, it also lacks any of the self-imposed restrictions that the developers might have. The developers are out to make a very good game experience. They are out to make a balanced, and even if that balance is misbalanced in one way or another to try and get you to build something specific for it, but they do want them to be defeatable. That is the end goal, is if they built something that could not be defeated, then they are not doing their job as a game designer. While people making defenders on Siege, that is their goal. They want to make something that you will not be able to beat.
It's got a point.
You know what, I don't fully agree with that, but I get where you're going with even though it's playing against the AI, the context of creating the encounter is not the same. It's just the way I see it is that...
Oh my god, why didn't I swing? What? I don't
The way
understand.
I see it is just, as long as you're playing against the AI, even if it's a user-created content, to me it's still PvE, because you're playing against the AI. And it might be like... There's ways to be competitive with PvE, nonetheless. And this is... But you know what I like with Siege is that it really blurs the line. Like, any way you look at it, it blurs the line between PvE and PvP. And it's really a merging, right? A merging of the two in a very interesting way. And we don't have a lot of experience with that. And I do not know any TCG or even a lot of game besides something like Minecraft that does that, right?
Yeah, no, and I get where you're coming from. My thing was, as I was saying, was I disagree in that this puts the defender in the same mindset as the game developer. And namely comes down to what I was saying, where a game developer wants something to be defeated, while the defender, its sole goal is to not have it be defeatable.
So, do we have Manifesto back? Manifesto, are you back?
Yeah, kind of.
Did your game crash, or was it Discord?
Oh, the whole internet went down.
Oh, wow, okay. That's bad. So, right now, back to the race. We've got Soutalgon on the third fight of the third dungeon, which would be Mist Sim. And we've got Axel just completing the second fight, going into the third, so pretty close right there.
First, going to the second.
You're going to the second? Oh, okay. Right, I thought you were on Grimskull. I saw, Soutalgon, that you had a very friendly Grimskull that didn't have any flight troop.
They typically don't, but they did have a couple. They had like one Skyguard.
Okay. Yeah, usually don't, but sometimes it will get the threshold for it, and it becomes a real pain because every single one has it from that point.
Well, you know, I'm just that good.
Yeah, you're running out right now, dodging all the key risks. It's nice.
I mean, I have done dungeons a lot. I just never done speedruns a lot, so
yeah,
I feel that's my only competitive edge I have going for me.
Oh, you still have Axel on your heels right now, so I wouldn't get too comfortable
his internet
in the
will
lead.
go down soon.
Oh yeah, that's planned. That's your strategy.
That's my strategy. Just hack their internet. I'm kidding. I don't know how to hack.
Well, if you knew how to hack internet grids, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be doing speedruns right now.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Alright, so Manifesto is back in business now, going into the armies of myth fight.
Yeah, I was like totally playing the whole time. Kind of.
Yeah, you're just giving them a lead, right? Because you're that good.
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
So we just went past the hour now in the run. We've got 2 runners in the last dungeon. If it goes well, it could be ending in 5-10 minutes. So as you can see, like, this is a friendly run. We're not, not practice or anything, and we're still going to likely make it below 1 hour 50, 1 hour 30 minutes, and it's still a decent amount of golden pack. So I highly suggest anyone looking at this, you just started the game, you don't have a big collection. If you want to start farming some new cards and equipment, this is a very good way to do it. Just start an NF Ranger, get your beeline for Adventure Zone 2, and start it again.
Well, it depends on what you want to get out of the game and what you want to, because I hear this constantly, and it depends on where you're coming from. If it's and granted, this is the store owner in me talking, but doing this game free to play, if you do the conversions of gold to plat to dollars and whatnot, the rate in which you are gaining these in-game income is, if you're enjoying doing it and it's something you get enjoyment out of it, by all means do it. And if you cannot spend the money, feel free, again, do it. But if your end game is to get that tier 1 PvP deck, or a base deck, and you have the means to just buy the deck, the deck.
Yeah, it's always going to be the same thing with these free-to-play games, right? So you either pay with your time or with your wallet. That's you're paying.
Right.
You're paying.
And and it comes down to how much you value your time.
Yeah, exactly. I would be the first in line where my time is extremely tight, so I don't farm at all. Like, I just don't. I do deck testing for the content I create, and I do play for fun, but I just don't have time to farm. I just don't. So when it comes to new sets coming out or things of the sort, I try to just be efficient with the cards and the packs that I get, resell most of everything that I don't use, and I just try to have a big amount of plat when a new set comes out, and that's it. Like right now we're going to have a new game mode, and I don't have a collector's collection, right? I don't have everything, so I already started to pinpoint like cards that I'm going to want, and start looking at the stores and looking at the in-game auction house. And I guarantee you that as the game mode starts, and we're going to be, maybe give it 2 or 3 weeks, right, when the meta is going to be sorted out, there's going to be top tier deck for Siege on the offense, right, with standard cards, and they're going to be top tier decks on the defense as well, and likely they will be playing some amount of standard legal cards, and all these cards, or these items, are going to gain value, and being fast there and being able to spot and keeping an eye out on shops like Battle Shop or Heroes, or sponsor for this event, really makes a big deal.
Yeah, since we're so close, well, not we, but the other 2 guys are so close to finishing, and you still haven't done a single giveaway yet. Even though you
yeah.
said you do 2 during the speed run.
That's again, ladies and gentlemen, leave the streaming to the professionals. And by that I mean, seriously, we don't know what we're doing. Please help us.
Yeah, the professional that's doing the speed run.
Well, you can do one after I beat this boss, maybe? I'm 1 turn away. Maybe.
Oh,
Are you on
you
the last
still
boss
need to
already?
reach Adventures
Yeah,
Zone 2.
but he screwed me pretty bad. I was down to like about to win, and then he killed my flyer. And I don't think I can win it now. I don't know, maybe. It's looking pretty
You're
grim.
still doing good. Like you're still doing fairly good, and we've got Manifesto now in the last dungeon. We certainly
wanted
have
to
seen
win.
our share of resets on
here's-
the last boss.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we only really care about the winner.
Yeah.
So once we have a winner, I think we just end the stream, right? We don't let the other 2 finish.
Nah, it
I
depends.
mean,
It depends.
I'm not finishing.
Well,
Oh my
you're
God.
in the last dungeon. Like everyone is in the last dungeon. It's not that bad. Really not that bad for an hour plus long run.
This is not looking good though.
Yeah,
He's down
yeah,
to
no,
1 health.
no
I don't know if I
Cardinal up and in 1L. What you did? Yeah.
He got me. He's just gonna steal the game away from me. That's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say this
Reset.
on your opponent, but did you use your 50-50 chance to do 1 damage?
Yeah,
to him?
I did. Well, no, you can't use it on him. I don't
Yeah,
think
you can.
I used it all on a trooper early, and all 3 shots missed. Which, ironically, if any of those landed, I would have won. So it's like, that
Yeah.
sucks so much. That just set me back so much. That's not fun. I'm sure Alex is gonna catch up and win now.
Well, he's on the second to last fight right now.
Oh, okay, so I got a buffer. That's good.
You got a couple, maybe
I
2
got
or
like
3
1
minutes
turn.
buffer, but if you stall on this fight again, you're both going to be at the same place, roughly.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to fastest clicks then, right? We can click through the whole.
The Gnoll dungeon is very, very cool, but there's no way in hell that someone beats it with the starter deck. I'm not even sure with the perfect end you can. Like, beating Scott on a starter deck with the 3 phases and the amount of health he has and removal and all, I don't think you do it.
So, champion. Oh, I'm gonna start hitting the champion with that.
Okay, so that fight's going on. Let's see, miss him. What was Finanif's power? Was transform 2 target troop in crypts into zombies. Okay, it's not too bad. When a zombie you control dies, deal 1 damage to each opposing champion. At the start of your turn, add a footstep counter. If there are 3 footstep counter, does something. It does summon a Gorg, whatever the name is. A 3-shot from the elf racial power. Oh, you managed to kill it.
Oh, I'm
Nice,
so
so-
bad.
I gotta survive.
Yeah, if you manage to win this fight, you may have a chance. But right now, last boss is on 7 health. But we know last fight it didn't really
Didn't matter. I got
didn't
him down to
matter.
one.
The boss decided to not die, and that's it.
Playing it safe this time instead of just madly swinging. I think I got it this time though. I have a good feeling.
Alright, 11 on the white child. If this would have been a white aura, you would have been in business, Axel, but still not bad. You can still swing, and if
I
you
was
get any
drawing on
bump
this guy.
next turn, you may win. Oh, we've got a win on the last fight!
Yeah, running my ass now.
Alright, can you reach AZ2 now? Because
I
last
don't
time we had
remember
people...
how to.
Last time we had a few runners that didn't really know where to go. So we're not going to
I
int you where
kind
to
of
go.
remember. No, don't worry. It's all. Like honestly, I really didn't think I would do as well as I'm doing, so I'm pretty happy right now.
Oh, you did fairly well. You had, what, 3 resets total, I think?
Yeah.
That's fairly low for
So
this
that's
run.
under a minute or under hour 15, yeah.
Yeah, it's fairly close, and as we're saying, like these are not people who are used to run, and or have done it for you know, a lot of times. So that's really fair. Like if you're a new player, maybe the first time you do it, it's like an hour 30, an hour 2 hours, but you know,
And honestly, we're playing handicap. You guys can edit your decks. You guys can do things. So
Yeah.
you know, you can also get help from the community.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're trying to speed run it as the first time through, like editing your deck is going to take a good amount of time. If that's what we're breaking it down to.
Yeah.
So.
But if you edit your deck to be more efficient, then your fights go by faster. So take an extra few minutes preemptively to make an optimized deck to me is better.
Fair.
And this is just, again, this is an exercise, right?
Did I
To
win
show
or
that it's
not?
possible.
I'm doing the counter. I didn't know if I got it. I'm not lurking.
You
Do I
are
have to
the
beat him?
winner.
Yay.
Well, I'm just
Whoa.
gonna say I got to the last boss. I'm pretty impressed. I didn't think I was even gonna make it to the last dungeon after my game crashed.
Yeah, and you catched up pretty fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I
You're
would have wrecked him for
You're
sure.
in the second to last fight. Wow. You
I'm
crushed
in the
it.
last fight, aren't I?
No, Manifesto, you're not on the last fight. You're the second to
Oh,
last
that's
fight.
right. There's a door that opens up and goes to the last one.
Yeah.
I almost made it to the last boss.
I exited the dungeon, so because we've got a winner.
Yeah. Come on, you can
Shameless-
reach it too.
shameless-
Axel, go and walk the walk.
If there's any brand new players watching, though, I am going to be giving away some of these PvE packs that I just won because I don't really need them.
That's nice.
So if there's any brand
you
new
remember
players,
me, guys. Be active in the chat. We're going to do another Evo Gauntlet, Evo Seal Gauntlet giveaway in about 2 minutes. So write anything or everything in the chat. If you wrote something in the last 20 minutes, you will be entering the dungeon. Congratulations to Soutalgon for the
entered
win.
into the dungeon.
What?
You said that you'll be entered into the dungeon. If
Oh,
you-
entered into the dungeon. Yeah, sure, you can enter the dungeon. But yeah, the giveaway. So who do we have right now for the giveaway? Do we have still have the giveaway thingy open? Got not very many here. There's 7 participants, 8 right now. So it's time to say something in the chat. Everything, anything. Flip some tables if you need to participate. Shameless plug all the way. Manifesto here. A very good XTCG streamer. If you're interested in watching XTCG, you want to watch a stream, I will say that. And very regular as well. We don't have that many streamers with a regular schedule right now, so.
these 24 hours, right?
Yeah, he's 24
Yeah,
hours.
no,
Yeah,
24
starting
hours a day.
starting as soon as coach sends me that first paycheck.
Yep. No problem. No problem sending a paycheck when we don't have an agreed upon number. No problem. I can
Hey,
even send
Coach.
you 10.
Let's give our Adventure Zone packs to as a giveaway, maybe, to some new player.
So, yeah, we've got some entered in a giveaway right now. We're going to do, that's the second one, right? But we still have a couple to do, so we're going to speed up the giveaways. It's going to be cool. All right. So, in 3, 2, 1. And the winner is Official Zip. Wow, that's the name? Hey, Official Zip, you won something.
All right.
You have a
Stuff
very
Parker.
confusing name, sir. Or ma'am.
Did you just assume their gender? Dun dun dun.
Oh, I didn't. I said or.
I know. Yeah, I know. Teasing. I'm excited. Thanks for having me, man. This was more fun than I thought it'd be. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, winning is
Which
fun,
one?
but yeah,
Giveaway?
this is cool. And yeah, we're going to mix that up for the next time we do something like this. And guys in chat,
Mercenaries.
if you would want to see something like this on more regular, like every week or every 2 week, just let us know. We can certainly arrange for more of these events in the future. If people are interested in watching, we can definitely make something happen. And official zip, I'm going to send you the code in your Twitch mailbox. So from there you're going to be able to use it with your own account. Redeem the code, and then you will have an Evo Sealed Gauntlet free ticket in your mailbox. So we're going to let Manifesto finish here, still with all the hurdle and everything. Where's the timer not running?
You
Where's
do not
That's
have
the
to wait
winner
for me to
won.
finish.
Okay, it's not just focused. Oh, okay, I need the screen to be focused.
Definitely do not need to wait for me.
No. You're running. We're watching. Come on, you're on the second to last fight. How bad can
Yeah,
this
like
be?
the third
Alright,
time.
famous
Rockcast.
last
He
words.
has like 4 Rockcasts every time.
So do you still need me sharing my screen or no?
You can stop. You can stop. Now, Manifesto, we can stop right there. That's okay. It was teasing.
He wants to finish because of pride, man. Don't take his pride. Come on.
So, Manifesto, what do you want to do? You want to complete this or?
No, you can wrap it up.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to sharing the game. Here, thanks for the runner again. What have we done? I didn't look at the time, official time when Soutalgon completed, but I believe it was around 1 hour 15 or close to 16.
It was 1 hour 15, give or take.
Yeah, still pretty good. That was a very good run.
I give up.
Going to remove these. Oh, it's not too bad. All right. So we've got this, and makes it so that we can change the background music a bit. Ooh, I sold packs. I'm rich. I sold Kismet draft packs. By the way, guys, if you have Kismet draft packs, extras, sell them. They're worth a ton.
Why? You can just buy them from the Plat store, right? If you
No, you
buy
cannot
draft
buy packs. Kismet's draft pack, you cannot buy them from the store.
I mean, like you can draft though. You know, like I don't know
No,
why anyone
you can
would pay
pay.
more.
Yeah, you can pay 200 and draft, but
Yeah.
they do sell quite well. So if you want to get some resources back before the siege come on, and you want to use the plat or try and gather some resources, that's a good way to do it. Nice. Alright, so the game is completed. We did 1 giveaway. We've got 3 giveaways to go. And we need to do now the Discord giveaway. So, for anyone who just joined or joined in between the run, this is a Wardens of Entrath special event. And we're starting this month. There's going to be a special stream every month at the end of the month. And we're going to have many giveaways, and even more so, we're going to have special giveaways for everyone who's participating on our Discord server. The Discord server is available to public. It's open to public. You don't need to commit to anything. You join in. You can just read everything if you want and never participate. But if you do participate, you're going to get 1 shard per message that you write in the Discord server. And you also get 1 shard for every hour that you are online. And with these shards, you can participate in special giveaways. For this month, there's 2 special giveaways for the Discord member. The first one is a Kickstarter related giveaway. So we're going to have 2 winners that are going to be able to choose any Kickstarter exclusive card, equipment, or mercenary, and they're going to get a copy of it. They cannot choose the Spectral Oak, of course, but anything else is for game. And we're going to have 2 winners. And for the second giveaway, very interesting, very low cost of entry, is a full rock deck list. Where there's going to be 2 winners. One deck list is from the Wardens directly, and the second is sponsored by Battle Shopper, or great and gracious co-host here, Matt. that is providing a full list as well. I had the... Where's the forum post? I had the forum post there, here.
Is
If you
it
want
too late
look
to
at the
join the
deck list.
Kickstarter one?
It is not too late to join. If you join in right now on the Discord server that I just linked, some of the wardens will give you a welcome package, which would be enough to enter the giveaway for the rock deck. So you still have a few minutes for that, and then we should be good.
I'm trying to join the Kickstarter one. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, you still have a few minutes if you want to enter and log into the Discord and have fun with that. And right now we're going to do another Evo Seal giveaway.
Yeah, it's not working for me, man.
Not working for you. What's not working for you?
The Kickstarter one.
Do you have enough shards?
Yeah.
Giveaway join Kickstarter. Kickstarter, you need to, it's case sensitive, so just remove the the uppercase and you should be good. I have tried joining the giveaway on the Warden's Discord, it does not work for me. A crafty down. Alright, let's see. What didn't work? Did you have enough shard? Yeah, you use Kickstarter with the uppercase key. Try a lowercase key, and if you have enough shards, you should be able to enter in as well. Let me open up the giveaway screen right now. Where's the dashboard? Dashboard. All right, I need to sign in. Yeah, we can do that. I'm not sharing anything stupid like credentials, right? Everyone will say no to that for sure, but...
It's the commands one, right? That's what people should be typing.
Yeah, it's the commands. Yeah, you go into the Discord. There's a commands chat. You run if you want the instruction, you run the giveaways command, and then you just type giveaway join, and then the one that you want. It's case sensitive, so mostly people are either typing a uppercase for the giveaway name and it's not working. That's usually what a problem is. Let me just grab the password file here. And problem is remembering the password for passwords file, and after that you're good. This one. Going to get that. Alright. This and giveaways. How many do we have? So we've got 8 participants right now in the rock giveaway, and we have got 18 participants for the Kickstarter giveaway, which is pretty nice.
Come on, guys. There's more than that.
Yeah.
At our height, this stream had 30 people in it. It still has 23 people in it. Get in there. You are doing a disservice to yourself to not get in there and join these free giveaways. Unless you just don't like Discord, in which case, I don't know. That seems misinformed.
It's the best time to join too now, because the Rocket League has been, like, for me, one of the best additions. Like, I've been getting extra packs per week now. It's
Rock
low
League is
entry.
awesome. Like it's getting a full rock deck if you just started or you're not set it up for. You should have enough. Let me see. Crafty. You've got 472. And what was the command that you run? The last time you run the Kickstarter command, there was an uppercase key, and that's why you were not able to join. So run the same command, lowercase key, and then you should be able to join the giveaway. That was a problem. Discord is a good place for siege tech. It is. It already is, and it will be even more so in the very near future. I just seen at the start of the stream, I already had about 12 defense deck lined up right now, and I stopped working on because I need test against the AI. I know a lot of people right now I have a lot of things set up as well. Crafty down right now. You seem to have enough credits. You just need to run the command again. Listen to me. Look at me. Listen to me. You just run the same command, lowercase Kickstarter, and you will be good. And you will be good.
There you go. You're in. But if you win, I'm gonna be sad.
That worked. Alright, so we're going to do another chat giveaway, guys. So, stream chat, you need to be, I've said anything in the last 20 minutes, and then you will be in the pool to enter the giveaway. Right now we've got 12 people, not too bad, but if you're watching and you're not active in the chat, you should be, right? Anything or everything, I don't know, a point, an emoticon, everything or anything, and you will be in there. The credits come from writing a message, so every time you write a message in Discord you get 1 shard, and every hour that you're online you get 1. So if you stay online 24/7 and you don't write anything, you'll have about 600 shards per month, which is more than enough to have multiple entries in all of the giveaways. And I already know that for the next month we're going to change it up. I think we're just going to have 1 giveaway, it's less confusing. And what we're going to do is have options for winners, where you're just going to say I have 5 winners, and it's going to be options like you either get a prize or get, I don't know, an equivalent of in platinum or gold. We're going to have to figure it out. This is the first month, testing things around. It also depends on what people like, so we're going to switch things around. But the gist of it is that we're going to have a special event every month, and it's going to involve prize that we have right now for watchers of the stream, but even better exclusive prizes for people that are active in Discord. And if you just joined the Discord, you'll see that most of the channels right now are lighted up. People are participating. There's a very, very active discussion on Siege. It's the best place for X if you want to have answers for any questions you may have related to X. If you want some help, you're going to get all the information that you need. We've got a lot of comments with, you know, great links pointing to battle shoppers amongst other things, wikis, guides, and it's pretty much X's VIP support. So you come in there, you ask questions. That's why we're here. That's why I created the group, is to help any X players in any way we can. Casual, free-to-play player up to very competitive players, and content creators. We also have a website. I don't think my do I still have the chat button here? Yeah, I don't have the chat button here. Okay, so we've got the website here. Let me just link this in the chat real quick. And we're going to put a lot of content where I have a work in progress siege section with a lot of stuff in it, and it's going to get populated very quickly after release. So look, keep an eye out, keep this into your favorite in your browser. There's going to be lots of very interesting tidbits in there. So let's get ahead with another giveaway for the chat, an Evo code, and it is going to go to Fred. You just won a free giveaway. Happy to give you something back because you're providing us with an awesome website. Congrats, Fred. You got it. It's a very meager reward for a very awesome website, but I'll take it. Deserved. 100% deserved. Fred X for the 3rd Evo call, and that's nice. And for anyone who doesn't know what Fred does, you should. If you're interested in X, you absolutely 100% sure should know what it does. So let me give you a link here. And this is where the magic happens. if you're a competitive player in X, you do want to know this website and you want to have it open at all time. I'm just going to say it like that. Discover it. And it will often lead you to Battle Shopper, by the way.
Yes, yes, it will, and that is actually one of the most exciting things that I've had so far this year.
Yep. So one thing, like for for digital TCGs, is that it's very easy to procure yourself with items, right? So we've got this Battle Shopper website right now where you can go and just get the cards that you need. Right? If there's a deck that you want, and you don't want to pay with your time, you want to pay with your wallet, then you got something there. And it's very easy, very great service. I've used it in the past. Get your stuff very, very quickly. And one thing with Battle Shopper that I really, really like is that you have a website, you have a Discord server, right?
Yes, sir, we do.
You should link that in the chat, 100%, because it's one thing to do to have a transaction on a website to buy cards and items. It's another one to be able to discuss with the people running it live, often, very often, and get answers to your questions.
Yes, sir. I believe the link that I just posted should work. We actually had a nice, pretty, like, forwarding link, but that apparently wasn't working for a lot of people. So now we're just using the uglier, like, we had a discord.battleshopper.com, but that, for whatever reason, just wasn't working. And so now we've got these uglier links that go discordapp.com. But, well, hey, they work. So, they, it can be pretty and work, or it can be ugly and work is better than pretty and not. One of the other really interesting things that I think that we should play out, or mention, is if you are a competitive Hex player, we have a new weekly series. Excuse me. A new weekly series on our blog, which is at the link I just linked it, blog.battleshopper.com, that will be going up tomorrow. Where Burgle, one of the most prolific refiners and brewers in the competitive scene, and has been very highly lauded on all of the articles that he's written for us, goes in and breaks down all the big events of the weekend. So he'll be going in and breaking down all the cool new things that he saw in the Bash, as well as I believe even some arcade. One of the vaults is what he'll also be looking at. And there were some really nifty decks that made a big splash. And on there, either tomorrow or possibly on Tuesday, just really all this week, we actually have a lot of really good articles that I've been sitting on for way too long and will be going up. So, including Young Dingo having a very lengthy article on his Sapphire Wild tempo control-y decky thing.
Nice, nice. I've certainly been keeping up on the blog and I really like it, so another added value from Battle Shoppers. Battle Shopper. Alright, so time for another Twitch chat giveaway in 5, 4, because I know how to count, 3, 2, 1. And winner here is this crafty dog. Down guard dog. I have no clue how to pronounce that, but you are the winner. And I'll be sending the code in your Twitch inbox after the stream, so keep an eye out for that. And now there's only one evil code left, so I believe it is time to do some Discord, to find some Discord winners. So this is the part that I really haven't planned, so we're going to wing it. What it means is sharing a Discord screen. I have no clue how this will end up being. So give me a second there, because I know the command I need to use, but I just not sure what the output will be. It's going to be fun. Alright, so where's the screen? Okay. This. And If I go into the comment custom, and while I'm searching for the comment, you guys can still enter, but it's pretty darn close. It should be alright. So should be that we close a giveaway, and then it's going to give us the winners. I believe this is how it works. Alright. Going to see me fail miserably if that doesn't work. Alright, so we're going to do giveaway those. And we're going to start with the rock. So we're going to have 2 winners. They're going to choose between 3 fully fledged rock decks. These are full deck lists. You will have all the cards, and you're going to be ready to go and enjoy the rock format, which is a great format. I believe, what's the entry fee for the rock?
3,000 gold.
3,000 gold, right? So you enter with 3,000 gold, and you have a good chance at winning packs. And there's the conversion rate from gold to packs is the best that you can have right now.
Something like 15 plat to enter or something silly like that.
Yeah, it's very, very low. So you should be you should be able to get there. Alright, so let's try this one with rock. We'll see. Let's see who we have as winners. So by the way, for the Discord giveaway, you don't need to be live watching. I'm going to contact the people that have won. So here we go.
Oh,
Did that work? Giveaway info rock. Okay, we've got this. We've got this. So Shanizar and Sandal, you both won a rock deck of your choice between Candles, Death Cry, and Verdict. So I'm going to be contacting you through Discord, but these are our winners right now. So I guess you can tell me I did not miss it. You... No, you didn't miss. You didn't miss. I took your name, and I know you're there, so you're winning the Evo code. No problem. And now we need to do the final giveaway, which would be the Kickstarter giveaway. So this one very interesting, where it's going to be one Kickstarter promo item of the winner's choice, anything besides the Spectral Oak, and it's going to be one copy. This is the first month. These are cool giveaways, but I guarantee you we're going to have way cooler giveaways for the upcoming month. So I see people typing in the comment channel. I'm going to give them a second there, but here we go. So we're going to close the giveaway for the Kickstarter items in 3, 2, 1. It is closed. It's now giveaway info Kickstarter, and wait, do I know how to type giveaway info Kickstarter? And Battle Shopper and Kitty has won. Did you enter that one? Really?
Rigged!
This is completely rigged. But it's fair play. We're going to
No.
I really don't know how to restart a giveaway. It might be
Can you not? Ah, jeez. Well, then I'm just gonna we'll push it to next month or something.
winner of the speedrun.
Winner of the speedrun. Well, you know what? You can give it to anyone in the chat. You can choose a winner.
I'll do something. How about this? We will give it away. We will give it away on our Discord later on. I gotta take my dog out, but after that, we can give it away on my Discord.
Sure.
Whatever it is.
So you're getting the prize, and you're going to do a giveaway in your Discord. I can. Yeah, that's fine. One of the you know, the Wardens of Entrath, again, we exist to support content creators and players. You're a content creator, I have no problem sending you stuff so that
I
you can
did
do
that as a
work.
joke, like expecting you'd be able to redraw that one, but
Yeah. Well, you know what?
did-
I might make another one just to be completely fair. But you won it fair and square, and you are still in
Yeah.
the chat, and you're active in our chat, and you're improving the experience. So you won it fair and square.
Again,
either
I
way.
definitely didn't mean to win it. I did it.
Yeah, I have no way. I just look. There's this bot. There's no way to restart the giveaway.
Whoops.
So we're going to work with that.
Okay, yeah, we'll give it away in ours.
Alright, so last one of the evening. Now we need to final evil seal giveaway. Be active in the chat. I'll give you 2 minutes while we wrap things up. So really enjoyed the stream this month. I don't know you guys, but I can definitely see us doing this every month for a long time. It's kind of nice. So what I would like to have, maybe a discussion, quick discussion, because I don't have enough time to start a discussion on Siege at this point. It's becoming a bit late for me. Waking up at 4:30, 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. But just comment on the shard system in the Discord giveaway. I know I want to change a few things, but you guys have any suggestions or comment on the way we can handle the Discord giveaways and maybe improve? What kind of prices would you be looking forward to? Not everyone at the same time.
I was reading chat. You were saying?
I just any comment like how do we improve this giveaway experience? What would you guys like to see that is crazy and PvE related next month? Well, if we have Siege, we're going to do Siege, but anything else?
PvP, says the guy who enjoys PvP.
PvP. We might be doing some PvP at some point. Definitely. I don't know what it would be, but I know that there's a lot of Discord members on the Wardens of Entrath one that we do have active discussions on most of the PvE formats, so that's not a very long time from here. What are you referring to? How about an FRA deck? Like we could draw 4 Frustrating Arena decks, but if we have Siege, I'm thinking maybe next month we draw for a very good defense deck, right? We give away a good defense deck. That would be cool. Or even 3, like a full setup. Like here's a thing. Oh, you meant Frustrating Arena speedruns. That could be a thing. That could definitely.
I don't know. If Siege is out, I think we should definitely do Siege.
Yeah.
Because like that'll be the new hotness.
Yeah, for sure. Like we're 100% covering Siege next month if it's out. Well, according to Curry, it should be right because he was targeting a month, and the announcements was early January, and we're going into February next week. So, well, I guess this week. So definitely, like if we're lucky, we're going to get that. If I had to bet, I would say February 7 or February 9th at the earliest. I don't think we're getting anything next week. That would be very surprising.
Surprise! That'd be a nice surprise. Though.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Because if you're a content creator, knowing at least like 2 weeks, maybe a week in advance is a very big deal. I have a very busy schedule. I fully intend to take a couple of days off to cover the Siege mode early. So if I would be able to know it in advance, like 2 weeks in advance, that would be insane. That would make an insane difference for me. And being last minute like the last set release would likely mean that I cannot cover it on release. So I know it's very small
The
portion of
last set
players that would
release
be in that situation, but yeah. Yeah, I'm on Eastern time right now. It's 10:43 p.m. Yeah, I think our goal will be if we can somehow get to a like give away the biggest prize would be a full set of defense. That would be cool, like 3 full decks. But 3 full PvE decks that are good, it's likely going to be very high value, so not quite sure how we get there, but we can try. That's a nice objective. What else? Like, well, it could be an attack deck as well. So these are constructed decks, right? So the constructed standard decks. It could also be an attack deck. A favorite deck, but yeah. Soutalgon won the race, and it was a very clean run with very low amount of restarts. I think 3 or 4 max. So pretty good. Well, Monty on the content, yeah. And it's going to be hard. That content like Siege, it's going to take a while to settle, because even if we don't have that much flexibility with AI fine-tuning for decks, which I fully assume that we will get, and it was, keep in mind, it was never announced by anyone, but in my mind, if we don't have AI fine-tuning options for Siege mode, it's not going to work at all. Like, it's not going to be good. There's going to be like 3 good decks, and it's always going to be the same thing on defense. If we want to have a big diversity in defense deck, we need to be able to fine-tune the AI. So at the very least, see that the AI is aggressive, mid-rangey or control-y, something like that. Like, that would be the very bare minimum. But in my mind, it's not even be enough. Like, we need dozens of AI permutations to create a very LT amount of defensive deck that are viable as very good defense deck, to be in an environment where you do have standard decks that beat, you know, any one of these defensive decks that are good, but there's just so many defensive decks that you need to navigate through, right? You need to know what's the meta, what are you most likely to fight, and then you're going to fight the first one. And you say that often when people, you know, use an entire grow kind of deck for the first fight, they usually go for these 2 or 3, and then you can figure things out, right? That's where Siege mode would be super great in my mind. But you need to have flexibility tuning the AI. I'm pretty sure we're going to see news about that. I hope. Well, let's just say I hope. Let's just say I hope. That was my first feedback when I read the article. Was like, okay, so we need AI fine tuning. It's going to be very interesting. We have not. Yeah. Let's really keep back. Catch up with the chat real quick. Would be.
Well, hey guys, I gotta go. My dog is hungry, and he wants to go out and.
Thanks for co-hosting this.
Yeah, I apologize. I kind of dropped out there mainly just because I didn't know what was going on a lot of the time. But I'm actually really fascinated by the concept of Siege and the ability to brew in it. So I'll be keeping an eye on that a lot closer than I would for this. So I will talk to you guys later.
Thanks for joining.
All right. See you next month.
Yeah. Alright, so keeping up with chat real quick, and then we'll be wrapping up. Good PV giveaways, and it will be tough to get equipment. Yeah, that's true. Although that would be mostly Kickstarter, but yeah, there's some very hard to get equipment in the game for sure. Looking forward to all those Kickstarter cards getting banned from Siege Defense. I really don't think so. Unless we get crazy flexible, crazy customizable AI, most of the Kickstarter cards are either bad or very good but require very specific sequencing, and they are not simple to play well. Something like the Crowd War, for instance, where you want to attack first, and we usually see the AI playing its cards first, so, and some amount of the time playing its cards first will be important. And more often than not, in the same deck where you run the Crowd Wars, sometimes you want to play your cards first, sometimes you want to attack first. So it's going to be, well, we're going to see, right? Maybe the AI is pretty good, fairly customizable, and we can make it do that. but it's going to be a hard card to play. Same thing with something like Slithering Marauder. There's a ton of selection to it, and the biggest and strongest deck with them are combo decks, and I don't know how we'll be able to customize AI, if at all, to be able to make these combo happen. So I'm not too worried about Kickstarter cards right now. If anything, the one that I think might get a change would be what's her name, Lady Cassandra, the one with the trinket equipped that grants 3 thresholds for free without any requirement. The same way we most likely will see a change to the Spirit of Retribution equipment, so that it has a threshold restriction somewhere. That would be in line with all the other modifications that they did in the past anyway. But Spirit of Retribution is going to be everywhere and in every single deck if they don't put a diamond threshold on this one. So likely want 2 diamond threshold even. We'll see where they go with that.
That's what Hero's Fall is for, though. You Hero Fall that, boom, gone.
Well, I'm not really worried about Hero Fall, but cards that are free and that comes into play on their own that have no threshold requirement. Yeah, what standard deck don't care about Spirit of Retribution for free? Like, that card is just going to host decks, and the only decks that don't care about it are decks that do not attack, right, with troops, and there are not very many decks with that. And if you're forcing your opponent to play a deck that doesn't attack with troop, it's going to be fairly easy to settle your defense on the next 2 decks to really punish that. So I think the one card in my mind that's likely going to get changed with the release is Spirit of Retribution because of that. Not because it's too strong, but it's too easy to splash in every single deck.
Well, I'd be sad if they nerf it though, because it's part of my Terror Mill deck, and I kind of need it to win certain fights.
and it will also, make Frustrating Arena more interesting. So I think it's written in the stars. They will do it. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And I got a feeling that they might do it straight up with the Siege mode, and I think they should. I really think they should, because that card goes in every deck, and if you're attacking and you're always facing the same card on 90% of the decks, it's not going to be fun at all. And people will catch up fairly quickly that just having that card in your deck is going to really mess with any kind of aggressive mid-range strategies. So Ring of Madness, like this is another one. This one is banned in PvE right now, and when you play PvE decks, you're going to have 1 or 2 pieces of equipment on 1 card. Usually you run 4, and these cards are extremely good, and they're usually the center of your strategy. So for the attacking player, being able to remove 1 of them and voiding every single copy from the game, it's going to be very good. Like, Blood has access to some nice offensive tools for this. We'll see, maybe it's not going to be enough, but I got a feeling, as Nico was mentioning in the chat, that yeah, this is clearly something to keep an eye out for the attacker side of things. Even more so when you come into a dungeon and it's the first try, you don't know what's going to be there. It might be pretty cool. Is not to play expecting any kind of process. Yeah, well, it's playing offensive in an unknown meta is the same thing as in PvE in this case. So if you want to go on the offensive early and you're planning and you want to win, there's going to be a lot of people testing a lot of weird stuff with the AI, and a good portion of it is not going to be what I would say fine-tuned or optimal. So going aggressive early on with the keeps is likely going to be fairly lucrative, to be honest, because you're likely going to be able to find keeps with a decent amount of ward that you're just going to be able to wreck with, say, a candle deck that both goes wide and big at the same time. There's not a lot of decks that are able to handle that properly. So what we're going to see, but yeah, there's certainly if anything, I would say that going on the attack with a very good standard legal deck early is likely going to be very profitable. I don't know after the first week or after the first 2 weeks, but if there's one time where you want to be, on the attack, it's going to be when it comes out. People are not going to know what kind of horde level to put with the kind of decks that they have. The meta is not going to be defined, and the decks are not, there's not going to be known decks or archetypes that the AI play well. So you're going, if you want to approach it purely on a, I want to get gold with the system kind of perspective, you likely want to be on the attack with a very aggressive deck, and just beat keeps up. Really, like Candles will likely be one of my first pick, because ending both tall and wide decks is not easy. You likely need to be a control deck. We'll see what kind of aggressive decks we have in defense keeps, but... What were you saying?
I was asking, do you think Mill will be good?
Alright, so I think, yeah, that's pretty much it right now. So we're going to stop right there. I'm going to link the Wardens of Entrath Discord one more time here in the chat, so do not miss that. There's a lot of discussion about Siege right now, and there's going to be a lot more to see in the future. Very active Discord. It's ex-VIP support, so you come in, you ask any question, you're going to get an answer 24/7, and lots of comments there to point to guides, to point to stores, to point to most of the the best resources X has to offer, both from the devs and from the community. So lots of resources, lots of players to talk to. It's open to public, you don't require any commitment from you, and since you're there and you're chatting and you're improving the experience from every other members here, you're going to be rewarded with this monthly special giveaways, with cool giveaways. So this was the first one, but we're going to increase the stakes here, and I'm likely going to improve the shard system as well for the next months, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, for the rest, I am CoachFliperon. You can find me everywhere on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, name it, on the forums, always the same name. And we've had some fine folks with us today. We've had Waffalophagus from the Battle Shopper shop. We've had Manifesto that streams a lot. Axel is there helping me with the Wardens all the time, and we've got Soutalgon that donated a few hours of his time. Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate it. And you won the race, so congrats.
Yay!
And that will be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. The recording is going to be on YouTube likely tomorrow morning, if you missed the first part, and see you next month.